This is our first topic of the Chapter 5, Physical Characteristics of Water. Water is an important resource for life, in the earth. Water have taken an important role in our body as medium of physiological functions, such as body temperature regulation, excretion. The following are the general characteristics of pure water. Water is colorless. Water is odorless. Water is tasteless. Water exists in liquid form, in room temperature. Water density is 1 gram per cubic cm at temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. Density of water is measured by dividing its weight with its volume. In fact, the density of water is varying with temperature and pressure. Water's boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius in 1 atmosphere pressure. Boiling point of water is the temperature at which the water changes its form from liquid to gas, at atmospheric pressure. Freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. Freezing point of water is the temperature at which the water changes its form from liquid to solid, at atmospheric pressure. Cohesive force exists in between water molecules. This is the attraction force between the water molecules. This force causes the surface tension of the water. Adhesive force exists in between water molecules and other molecules. This force causes the capillary effect. The cohesive force between water molecule causes the surface tension of the water. Surface tension of water, acting as an elastic layer. It causes daddy longlegs able to float on water. This phenomena is due to the weight of the daddy longlegs lesser than the water surface tension. About the capillary effect phenomena. Capillary effect is due to the cohesive force among the water molecules and the adhesive force between the water molecules and other molecules. This phenomena can be observed in the xylem capillary cell's wall, at which water is brought from root to leaf. Water can exist in 3 physical form: solid, liquid, or gas in different pressure and temperature. The physical change of water from one physical form to another involve absorption or release of heat. About the heat absorption. Heat absorption occurs when water is transformed from solid to liquid. This is the melting process of ice to water at melting point of 0 degrees Celsius. And also when water is transformed from liquid to gas. The process of boiling, or evaporation of water, into water vapor, at which boiling is occurring at boiling point, while evaporation occurs at any temperature below than boiling point. When it is transformed from solid state to gas state, it also involves heat absorption. This process is sublimation of ice into water vapor. About the heat release. Heat release occurs when water is transformed from gas to liquid. This is the condensation of water vapor into water and liquid to solid. This is the freezing process of water into ice and transformation of gas into solid, from water vapor into ice through the desublimation. This topic is about the composition of water. A water molecule is made up chemically of 2 hydrogen atoms, oxygen atoms. Hence, it is a compound, and not a mixture. Hydrogen, an oxygen atom, from a water can only be separated through the electrolysis process. Water electrolysis is a process of decomposition of water into hydrogen and oxygen using electrical energy. During electrolysis, oxygen gas discharge at the positive electrode, the anode. Oxygen gas discharge at anode, because at anode, oxidation of H2O is occurred, by giving away the electron. Hydrogen gas discharge at the negative electrode, the cathode. Hydrogen gas discharge at cathode, because electrons from the cathode, being given to hydrogen cations, to form hydrogen gas. Through the electrolysis process of water, The produced hydrogen gas has twice the volume of the produced oxygen gas. This topic is the effect of impurities on the melting point and boiling point of water. Existence of impurities, for example, salt in the water, can cause the physical properties of water change, such as taste, smell, and color. For taste, the water became salty. For smell, if the concentration of salt in the water is high, you able to smell the salty smell. For color, the salt water will still remain transparent in its appearance. For the change in boiling point, the boiling point will increase more than 100 degrees Celsius. It depends on the concentration of the salt in the water. For the change in freezing point and melting point, it will drop below the degrees Celsius. It will causes the water take a longer time to freeze, but take a shorter time to melt. With the presence of impurity in the water such as salt, the density of water will increase. How much it increase depends on the amount of salt added to the water. This topic is about the evaporation of water. Evaporation is a process where liquid changes to gas. On the surface of the liquid, at temperature below the boiling point of the liquid, evaporation occurs when the water molecules of the water surface gain enough energy from surroundings, move rapidly, and then escape into the air. The remaining water becomes colder because the heat of the water being absorbed by the escaped molecules. This explains why our body temperature drops when our sweat evaporated. Is the factor that affect the rate of water evaporation. The rate of water evaporation is a measure of how fast a volume of water evaporated. There are four main factors that affect the rate of water evaporation. The first is the humidity of the environment. The second is the air movement in surrounding. The third is the exposed surface area. The fourth is surrounding temperature. These four factors will be detailed in the following section. The first factor, the humidity of the environment. Humidity reflects the total amount of water vapor in the air. Dry air is the air with a low content of water vapor. Dry air have more space to receive the water molecules. Therefore, the rate of water evaporation increase when the humidity of the environment reduced. The factor, the air movement in surrounding area. The air on the water surface is drier, and have space to receive the water molecule. The faster the moving of the air will cause more water molecules on water surface, being swept away. This increases the water evaporation rate. The third factor, the exposed surface area. When the water exposed surface is larger, the number of the water molecule on the water surface will increase. This enables more water molecules to release themselves into the air. The fourth factor, the surrounding temperature. The rate of evaporation increase when the temperature of the surrounding is high. Because, in high temperature, the average kinetic energy of the molecules of water is higher. This causes the molecules of water move faster, and easier release into the air. This topic is about of water evaporation in daily life. The follows are the examples of application of water evaporation. Hot tea gets cool over time, due to evaporation, at which the hot molecules on the surface gets evaporated, and taking away heat with them. Wet clothes dry under the sun, due to evaporation, at which the water in wet clothes takes heat energy from the sun, and gets evaporated. Evaporation of perspiration from the body, at which sweat on our body evaporates, taking away heat from our body. Drying of a mopped floor is due to the evaporation of the water, at which the water exposed surface area is large, the rate of evaporation is high. Drying of wet hair after some time is also due to evaporation of the water. This is the full content of Topic 1, Physical Characteristics of Water.